Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that is close to many of your hearts: how to design a truly stunning and professional wedding invitation. Whether you're a DIY bride or groom with a creative streak, or a budding graphic designer, this guide will walk you through everything you need to know. Your wedding invitation is the very first glimpse your guests will have of your big day, so it's essential to make a fantastic first impression. It sets the tone, communicates the style, and builds excitement for what's to come. So, grab a notebook, and let us get started on creating an invitation that is as unique and beautiful as your love story. First things first, let's talk about gathering inspiration. Before you even think about opening a design program, you need a clear vision. Where do you start? My favorite places are Pinterest and Instagram. Create a dedicated board and start saving everything that catches your eye. Look for color palettes, typography styles, paper textures, and overall layouts. Don't just save invitations, look at art, interior design, fashion, and even nature photography. Is your wedding vibe romantic and classic, modern and minimalist, or maybe bohemian and rustic? The more visual references you collect, the easier it will be to define your style. This initial research phase is crucial. It's not about copying someone else's design, but about discovering what elements you're drawn to and how you can combine them to create something that feels authentically you. Once you have a solid mood board, it's time to think about the essential information that must be included. Get this part right, and you'll save yourself a lot of questions from guests later on. The core components are the host's names, traditionally the bride's parents, but today it can be both sets of parents, the couple themselves, or a combination. Next, the request line, which is the part that says request the pleasure of your company or invite you to celebrate with them. Then, the names of the couple, of course. The date and time are non-negotiable, and make sure to write them out clearly. The location, including the full address of the ceremony venue. And finally, reception information. If the reception is at the same location, you can simply write reception to follow. If it's elsewhere, you'll need to include that address as well. It's a good idea to create a separate details card for things like dress code, gift registry, hotel accommodations, and your wedding website URL. This keeps the main invitation clean and uncluttered. Now for the fun part, typography and color. This is where your invitation really starts to come to life and show its personality. Your choice of fonts is one of the most impactful decisions you'll make. A great rule of thumb is to use 2, or at most 3, different fonts. Typically, you'll want one script or decorative font for names and key headings, and one simple, legible serif or sans serif font for the body text. The contrast between a fancy script and a clean block font creates a beautiful visual hierarchy, guiding your guests' eyes through the information. When choosing fonts, make sure they are readable. A font that looks gorgeous on screen might be difficult to read when printed, especially for older guests. As for color, refer back to your mood board. Your color palette should reflect the overall theme of your wedding. Are you having a fall wedding with rich burgundies and golds? Or a spring celebration with soft pastels? Use these colors thoughtfully. You don't need to splash them everywhere. A pop of color in the text, a colored border, or a colored envelope can be incredibly effective. Let's talk about layout and composition. A well-designed invitation has a clear visual flow. The most important information, like your names and the date, should be the most prominent. You can achieve this using a larger font size, a different font style, or a bold color. Centered text is a classic and formal choice for wedding invitations, and it's usually a safe bet. It creates a sense of balance and elegance. However, don't be afraid to play with alignment if you're going for a more modern look. A left-aligned or even a creatively justified layout can look very chic. The key is to maintain balance and avoid making the page feel too crowded or too empty. White space, or negative space, is your best friend. It gives your text room to breathe and makes the whole design feel more luxurious and easier to read. Don't be tempted to fill every single inch of the paper. Less is often more. Now, let's get into the practical side of things, design software. You don't need to be a professional with access to expensive programs. There are amazing, user-friendly tools available to everyone. Canva is a fantastic option for beginners. It has thousands of templates, a huge library of fonts and graphics, and an intuitive drag-and-drop interface. You can start with a template that you like and customize it completely to fit your vision. Another great tool is Adobe Express, which offers similar features. If you're a bit more tech-savvy and want more control, you could try programs like Affinity Designer or Procreate on an iPad. For those who do have access to the Adobe Creative Suite, Illustrator is the industry standard for this kind of vector-based design work. Whichever program you choose, remember to set your document size correctly from the start. A standard A7 invitation is 5 by 7 inches. And always design in a high-resolution 300 dpi is the standard for print to ensure your final product is crisp and clear, not blurry. Let's move on to paper and printing, because the physical feel of the invitation is just as important as its visual design. The paper you choose can elevate your invitation from nice to absolutely luxurious. Standard cardstock is a good starting point, but consider exploring different weights and textures. A heavier cardstock, say 110 to 130 pounds, feels more substantial and high-end. Textures like cotton, linen, or even handmade paper with a deckled edge can add a beautiful tactile quality. You can order paper sample kits from online printers to feel the options before you commit. When it comes to printing, you have a few choices. You can print them at home if you have a high-quality printer, but be sure to do a test run first. For a more professional finish, I'd recommend using an online printing service like CapPrint, Cards and Pockets, or even a local print shop. They offer a wider range of paper options and specialty printing techniques like letterpress, foil stamping, or thermography. These techniques add texture and shine, making your invitations truly stand out. Before you send anything to the printer, you must proofread. And then proofread again. And then have at least 2 other people proofread it for you. There is nothing worse than spending time and money on 150 beautiful invitations only to discover a typo in the date or a misspelled name. Read every single word out loud, forwards and backwards. Check every number, every address, and every name. It is so easy for your brain to skip over mistakes when you've been staring at the same design for hours. A fresh pair of eyes is invaluable. Create a physical mock-up. Print one copy on your home printer, even if it's not the final paper, and assemble it exactly as you plan to send it. Put it in the envelope with the RSVP card and any other inserts. Does it all fit? Is the information clear? This step can save you from a major headache down the line. Finally, let's talk about the finishing touches, the details that tie everything together. Consider how you'll present the invitation suite. An envelope liner in a complementary color or pattern is a beautiful surprise for your guests when they open it. You could also use a belly band, which is a strip of paper or ribbon that wraps around the invitation suite to hold it all together. Sealing the envelope with a custom wax seal featuring your initials or a motif from your invitation adds a touch of old-world romance and sophistication. And don't forget the postage. Take a fully assembled invitation to the post office to have it weighed. Square envelopes and bulky invitations often require extra postage. You can even find beautiful stamps that coordinate with your theme to complete the look. These small details show your guests how much thought and care you've put into every aspect of your wedding. So there you have it, a complete guide to designing your own professional and beautiful wedding invitations. It might seem like a lot of steps, but if you take it one stage at a time, from inspiration to final assembly, you can absolutely create something you'll be proud of. Remember, this is your wedding, and your invitations should be a reflection of you as a couple. Have fun with the process, let your creativity shine, and don't be afraid to make it personal. Your guests will appreciate the effort, and it will make them even more excited to celebrate with you on your special day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more wedding and design content. If you have any questions or want to share your own invitation design journey, please leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you all. Congratulations on your engagement, and happy designing!